Well, good evening and good to be with you again on Geelong Newsbeat and maybe possibly on YouTube as well. How many police officers do you know? Over the years I guess I get to know quite a few, and I have seen them always as people who have got great dedication, really are able to go to work with a sense of social responsibility for what they're about as custodians of the law, protecting life, my life, your life, and property, my property, your property. I've seen many of them damaged by their experiences. One officer I know lost his life in the course of duty. Another was involved in a serious car accident which took his life, and another one was traumatised by the experiences that he'd had, and that's really affected the rest of his life. Each day we read stories of criminals being apprehended, and just recently we've had a shootout in the city where a young constable has had to take the life of another person, albeit an armed criminal, but he goes through the rest of his life knowing that he has taken a human life. I wonder to what degree we understand or even give much thought to the boys and the girls in blue who go to work every day without any idea of what they will be facing. I suppose over the years we've watched so many cop dramas, whether it's going way back to Homicide and then Hill Street Blues and more recent shows like Blue Heelers and so on. But we take it all as a bit of a TV drama, but it's very much for real. And perhaps of recently, of course, we've seen a controversy still ongoing as to the kind of armament that police should be given. Now, I'm certainly not going to enter into that. I'm not a police officer. I really don't know the ins and outs of the whole thing. But I think, as in principle, certainly those who are in the force and those who care about them, which should be all of us, should want to make sure that they are given adequate protection. And that applies to both our own police officers and also those who serve our nation in armed conflict overseas in various areas of military encounter. Every now and again you'll read stories of poor equipment and poor life protection, of vests and so on, and you say, what's going on here? One thing we cannot afford to do is to send men and women out to defend our lives, our property, ill-equipped, when for the sake of a few extra dollars, which can surely come from here or from there, from some less worthy cause, we can give them adequate protection. When we've known people who've been damaged, and worse still, have lost their lives in the service of our nation or the service of our own personal protection, well, it comes home a little bit more. And I think at this time of year, perhaps I know of a police officer who was killed some years ago in a road accident, and I think of his family, I think of his widow, of his children who will never really know growing up with their dad, and I think how many more out there are there that really need our support in every way. Our moral support, our appreciation, but also our practical support for what they're about. Let's look after our police officers, let's serve them as well as we can, because they certainly serve us extremely well, and we should be very, very grateful to them. Good to be with you on Geelong Newsbeat.